So what is this?
So this is we've been busy. We decided to add some more plants to our collection. You remember the goal is 1 million. So behind me, we've added 500 more plants to our I don't know what to call it, because it's like we're expanding, like it's like a collection of plants but with many farms. Also, I don't know the name for that, but that's what we have here. So this is our round one of expansion, and as you can see, we've been able to fit in this space 500 plants.
It's a bit hilly, but we made it work for sure. You'll see the photos from before.
Yeah, in fact, if you saw this place before we started, hey, you wouldn't believe that it turned out like this, because this place was like shrubs. If you can see behind me, you can see the terrain that is surrounding the farm. So it was something like similar. Yeah, I think it was. We can say similar. Yeah, and look how it's turned out. So this is our round one of expansion. Like I said, we started with 500. It's a bit hilly, so just be careful. So we started with 500 with round one, and this was just a celebration of the DAP. I felt like, I was cooking this shit in silence, because the gang didn't know about this. The gang didn't know we've been adding our plants. So we are on our journey to 10,000. So 500 is gone. We're 9,500 to go.
In the book.
Yeah, so imagine 9,500 to go. So is now the support, which is going to be the metal structures that's going to be for each individual plant. And then at the top, they'll also be now, it'll be lying on the top. Because if you remember, this tree doesn't produce fruit, it's hanging. Yeah, so that's why the ones that are going fast, they require support, because if it doesn't get support, it will slow down the growth. It will stop until it gets support. So if this, let's say, had no support, it will grow big, yes, but it would fall down, and when it falls down, it stalls until you give it support. So as we are getting the metal support coming, we decided to use this as a filler, the wooden support. But I'd say this month, in a few weeks, we should have the supports.
Give an update.
Yeah. So this is just introduction of our new babies. I felt like it's important for you guys to meet them. I was sitting on this. In fact, you can imagine we just released our DAP, and doing this in conjunction with the DAP, you can imagine how hectic that shit is. But gang, we active. We have that farmer's ethic, We're doing this for you guys. So you're the guys, you're the ones keeping us alive and keeping us pumped. So now imagine we're at 1,800, Pitaya gang. We're now at 1,800. That's 0.18% of our goal. Still a long way to go. But imagine the progress we've made in 2 months. The redemption DAP is live. We've started the expansion round of this year, which, if you guys can remember, we're scaling 10x annually. Let's continue. Let's go up as I show you. But we're scaling 10x annually. So this year we are growing 10,000, because when we started Pitaya, we were at 1,300. So let's round it down to like 1,000. So we are growing 10,000, and that will give us a cumulative of around close to 12,000 plants. Because you see now we're at 1,800. So we add another 10K, where we'll be at 1%. So I feel like 1% of our goal, Pitaya, in the first 6 months of our existence is a very big milestone. Like, gang, hey, that shows what we're doing, bro. And we're just getting warmed up. I told you it's a journey. This shit is not a sprint. So
Maybe you can explain to them how this.
oh yeah. In fact, good one. So
Just to get a rough idea.
this is where the water comes. Like, this is what feeds the plants the water. So I'll show you in the next scene. I'll show you where we get this water from, but it comes from next to the farm. Like, if you guys can remember, this farm, it grows avocados at the moment. So majority of the farm is avocados, I think. And this majority of the farm has been used for avocados, but we are so now that farm, sorry, I'm digressing. So that farm now, I mean, so the water next to the farm is a river. It's the longest river in Kenya. That's River Tana. So we source our water from there, store it in the tanks, and then that's what we use for the plants. At the moment, we're using drip irrigation, and the reason we're using drip is because this can regulate the plants. It's like personalized feeding. You see, each plant gets their own supply of water. So that's the reason we're using drip. But when they get bigger, when they start hanging, we can now switch up to sprinkler irrigation, which comes from the top. Yeah. And you see the water from the sprinkler irrigation, when it falls on the thorns, it also helps like produce fruits. The water on the thorns is what it's like a catalyst. So that's the science of where we're getting our water to feed our plants. But I'll show you guys where the water is. So
how long do you think this will take?
So
till next year maybe?
Yeah, so
Next year?
yeah, considering we planted them when is this? We're in August. So we planted them early July. So these ones, they'll be in production next season, because it takes 1 year, depending on the conditions. If they have good conditions, living conditions, it takes 1 year for them to start producing fruits. But if not, it can go to even 1.5 years. Some people even get to 2, depending on how you're treating your plants. But these ones, with our work ethic, this one by next year, you'll be redeeming them. The gang will be redeeming this by next year. Yeah. So we live. I'd say they'll be in production October next year. These ones that we're growing, and you can imagine also the 10,000, since we're starting planting next month in September, end of September. You can imagine they won't be so far from these ones. So I'm expecting a similar timeline with our 10K operation. So by next year we'll have even more volume, and it just gets interesting from there.
And by 2027, oh my god.
You can imagine if you're scaling 10x annually, next year now you have to grow 100,000. So you can imagine. And if you don't know the size of 10,000 plants is 2 acres. That can occupy 2 acres. So our expansion this year will occupy 2 acres. And then next year, if that's 10x, that's 20 acres of expansion next year. So for the next, I'd say, a few years, it's non-stop building and working. It's non-stop action. So we have 15 rows. I forgot to mention that. It's 15, right?
Yeah, 15 rows.
Yeah. So we have 15 rows, and each row,
do them like 500 divided by 15. So each row is like
15 meters.
Yeah, no, average 12. Average 12 up there. Up there it will be 15.
Oh, so
Yeah,
here,
but
yeah.
it's 12.
Oh, yeah, because you know the piece of land is like carving. It's like, yeah, it's a slope, and it's also, it's not the same, the top and the bottom. So, but either way, just know here we fitted 500. So that's an extra 500 to our portfolio, Pitaya gang. Crazy, 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 crazy. I wish you guys, but you'll see like how this place was looking before. Next, now we want to finish the upper level. We want to complete this whole space. But
they'll want to know the explanation of this. Let's go up there.
Yeah, let's show them. Let's show them. That's an interesting one. You guys should. You guys will love this. So you see, in fact, this is a lesson. This shows you what happens when you let dragon fruit grow wild. Like if you let it grow without pruning and taking care of it, this is what happens. So back in was it 2021?
No, it was 2020.
When COVID?
No, we planted 2020. Can't remember, it was 2022.
Oh yeah, so
no, actually 2021. 4 years.
It's 2021.
Yeah, let's say 1 or 2 around there.
Okay, that 2021, 2022. When we were starting now thinking about growing dragon fruits. So we started these ones as a test run, and it was 120 50, yeah.
No, 200.
200
200 plants.
200 plants. Yeah. So 200 plants, and when we started, we didn't really take it to the seriousness this work deserves. Let me show you around. Yeah. So we planted them, and then we sort of forgot about them. And like I said, this farm grows avocado, so people were busy with the avocado section. No one really had time to look after this, so they grew wild as fuck, gang. And then, so when they grew wild this year, we decided, I think now when we finished our pilot farm, so we decided, it's time we now took this seriously, because this whole part, the whole behind me, this whole section was just shrubs. It was full of weeds. Yeah. So the work that this place required, it was more of a, we were kind of lazy to get active with it. But when we locked in for real, this year, now that's when we decided, I think after we launched Pitaya, that's when we decided it's time. Yeah, it's time to get this shit sorted. So imagine what started, this was the first ones, even before the pilot farm. But we didn't see the potential at the time. We didn't really understand what we had. But life has a way of making us laugh. And after all those years, we took a U-turn, and now we are back to where it all started. So that's the brief history. So these ones, all these plants that you're seeing that look wild, all this will be using as cuttings for the future plants. So you can see here we are going to collect a number. It's close to 600. And that's a good number of cuttings. Those are new plants that are going to be covering this space. So we'll also arrange it like the way we did it back there.
We're also adding on this.
Yeah, so it's going to be around 11 rows. And this side, like we said, this side is it's more, it has more length than down there. So yeah, gang, we'll be adding, I think here we can add the whole 600 if we stretch it. Because the length is longer than there. So here we'll be adding another, let's say 500. So from where it starts to the bottom, we are hoping to fit at least 1,000. And then there's another piece that is also a shrub that requires the same work. Bro. So gang, this is what we are working with. And now you know. Extra 500 locked in. And so this is part of the preparation that's next now. All these are going to go down. All this won't be there. In fact,
they're starting on Monday. They'll start on Monday.
Yeah, so next time you'll see a video from this location. It's gonna look different. So remember these scenes. So and you can imagine how many all these are going to produce. So this is like a money printer. I keep saying this plant is magical because imagine all these new plants that are going to produce future fruits. That's like a multiplier. And Pitaya is like, that's what you're tapping into. It's enough to go. Oh, if
This is where we'll reach.
oh yeah,
For this space we'll reach
here.
here.
So this is going to be the last row.
That we don't disturb this.
The avocados, like I said,
Few avocados.
majority of the farm is avocados. So from here going down that side, it's avocados. Maybe if you guys are interested, I can show you the avocado section. But for now, we are Pitaya. If there's oh, there's 4,500 avocados here in this farm. So it's crazy numbers. It's crazy numbers. That's hella volume. And Pitaya is heading towards the same direction. So slowly but surely we'll get there. Oh, yeah. In fact, yeah. I don't know. Let's go this other side. You can see it. So the water I was telling you about, it gets stored here. If you remember the pipes, it comes from the river.
They come from all the way down there.
Yeah. So it comes from the river, it's pumped all the way into the tanks, and then the tanks now connected to the drips that go to the plants. So water here is in abundance. And with farming, you know, water is usually the biggest need. If you don't have access to farming, forget about anything, because without water, there's nothing you're doing. So real quick, this is going to be our nursery. As you guys can see, it's being prepared. This whole section, from where the posts are, we're going to put some shade because you know the conditions also. If there's too much sun,
today we've had it very easy.
In fact,
this is not the usual weather here.
The conditions today are perfect.
Best, yeah.
Perfect. You guys should see this place in its usual state. You can't stand outside.
Even 10 in the morning.
Yeah. So even the fruits that are going to come out from this specific farm, that's why I was saying the quality here is the quality that the fruits this farm can produce are much higher than what we are currently producing, is because of the abundance of sun. And also the soil, I heard the soil has a lot of phosphorus, which is good for fruits. That's what makes fruit sweet. So this place, the fruits that are about to come here, hey, I think these ones are going to be a premium. These ones, you'll see. Very soon, you guys will have a taste. In fact, you know the redemption DAP is live, so very soon. It's now just getting the fruits to you guys, and that's already in the works. So gang, this is what we are working with. This is where now the plants that we showed you guys that we are cutting are going to start their life here. They'll be here for like 2 months as they produce fruits. Roots. Yeah, as they root, and then they're ready to be planted. So you see, everything is aligning for September. We'll also be adding more cuttings because at the moment we have exhausted all cuttings that we're producing. So we'll be adding, I think, an extra 5,000 approximately. Probably a bit more, probably a bit less, but that range, because we have to hit that 10K target.
Yep.
So gang, you guys are you guys now you've seen the operation in this new, and we're excited. We are very excited for what's coming for Pitaya. Delicious times are coming. In fact, delicious times are here. They're already here. So it's going to be delicious from here on out. Again, you guys already know. You've had a taste, eh? For the ones who don't know, look up Pitaya. You should study Pitaya. First to ever do it. This is the first tokenized farm ever. First to ever do it. So our time is here, gang. I'm excited for what's coming, and it's a long journey to 1 million. So buckle up. It's a long ride, and you guys have the front row seats. I'll take you along every part of it. In fact, very soon, we're a team also. It's not this. All this is not possible because of a one-man effort. So very soon you'll be seeing the whole gang in action, and so far I'm happy with the progress Pitaya is making. So with all that said, Pitaya again, one love, keep shining, keep smiling, and remember, health is wealth. Let's get it, gang.